Hamilton. Look at the forecast. Let's bring in weather specialist Noor Rafat.
Hey, thanks very much, Catherine. We did get a little bit lucky today, seeing some sunny breaks here and there despite all of that cloud cover, and I hope it put a smile on your face just as much as it did on mine. Still seeing some cloud cover in the Toronto region, but it's been mostly dry the past few hours. 5 degrees just now outside the Toronto airport. There are some flurries around the Caledon region, Aurora, even into Kingston, but a very different scene across the map. That Alberta clipper that was affecting us yesterday has moved out, and we've been seeing some incredible changes when it comes to temperatures. More of these mild conditions that we saw in southwestern Ontario yesterday extending east into parts of the GTHA. Toronto, 5 degrees, 4 in Hamilton, and 9 in Windsor. Still quite icy as you head towards cottage country in the north, but for areas that are seeing temperatures above the freezing mark, we are looking at the snow on the ground melting already as we speak. We've got more messy weather on the way. Freezing rain extending towards the shores of southern Georgian Bay and east towards Kingston. That's going to be because of that system rolling in tomorrow, so it'll bring a whole lot of rain for southwestern Ontario, rain for the Toronto region, but you can see in pink here pushing into Peterborough, Barrie, Muskoka, and even into parts of Kingston. Periods of freezing rain into the afternoon, and then a transition to snow as we head into the evening. This will be a system that will move out by the end of your Monday, but we'll talk more about the other systems rolling in the coming days in your full forecast. For now, expect a high of 5 degrees late in the day tomorrow in Toronto. Lots of cloud cover, on and off showers. Hope you make the best of the day despite the lack of sunshine. Kat?
Thanks, Noor. Syracuse University has honored Time now to check in on the long-range weather forecast, and weather specialist Noor Rafat joins us here. And Noor, so many people are anticipating snow. It's December, but that might not be the case this week.
Yeah, it seems like we're going to get a whole range of conditions, Kat. Snow still in the forecast for some, but I think for many, a lot of rain as we see milder temperatures climbing. And for some communities, it's going to be highs into the double digits above the freezing mark. Let's take a look at how it's going to shape up come tomorrow. Well, we're not expecting double digits in Toronto come tomorrow, but +5 makes a whole lot of a difference, especially when we've seen conditions below the freezing mark for the past couple of days or couple of weeks even. We are seeing that rain heavy as we head into the morning hours, starting to taper off heading into the afternoon, but we could see it on and off into the evening as well. We are starting to see first signs of a ridge building right over here in green, that mild air rolling through Toronto, still about to catch up to Ottawa and Montreal, and eventually Atlantic Canada with those double digits over here, but below the freezing mark. Parts of the prairies heading into your Tuesday and Wednesday could see -20, -30, factoring in the wind chill. So yeah, not fun over there. We've seen our own a taste of wintry weather, really. And tomorrow it'll be in the form of freezing rain transitioning to snow for those areas that we had seen under that weather statement. It might just be mostly wet around the Toronto region, Niagara Falls into London as well. But that snow could linger into the evening hours as you push east towards Ottawa and into Cornwall. Tuesday, mostly dry for a lot of people, aside from freezing rain to the east once again. Really, Wednesday is when we start to see more of that low pressure roll in, and this one is going to be messy as well. We've got a mix of rain and snow, and really hard to say who's going to see what, but it does look like a lot of us will get a taste of just about everything in the coming days. 10 millimeters of rain as we head towards Tuesday in the Toronto region, also towards London, Ontario. Tomorrow, 9 degrees yet again in Windsor, -6 in Ottawa, +1 in Kingston, and -6 in Sudbury. Zooming in to see how things are looking like, 3 in Oshawa and 1 in Peterborough. And then it's 7 by Tuesday, still hanging on to that mild air by Wednesday with that mixed precipitation. Thursday and Friday, temperatures start to tumble, but at least we've got some sunshine to keep us company. The rest of your weekend, though, cloudy above the freezing mark for both days.
First look at the forecast. Let's bring in weather specialist Noor Rafat.
Hey, thanks very much, Catherine. Well, just when you thought the skyline couldn't get any prettier, it's always a pleasant surprise to see what the harbor cam brings up. And this shot has my heart. What also has my heart, the temperatures outside the Toronto airport, +2 degrees, heading into a mild overnight. as much as we saw a mild daytime high, 7s and 6s across the map, even 10 degrees out in Windsor. All that snow that we saw on the ground starting to melt very early on as we saw those temperatures climb above the freezing mark. We did get a decent break from the messy weather, and just like that, the break is ending already. We're seeing the next system roll in, and it's actually bringing some pretty heavy bands of snow just east of Stratford. This is a system that will cause quite the mess come tomorrow. We've got freezing rain warnings extending all the way up towards the shores of southern Georgian Bay into areas like Kingston, and weather statements for the same exact thing. Freezing rain, periods of it into the afternoon, potentially for a number of hours, and that's going to make for slippery surfaces and some hazardous conditions at times. So here we are looking at mostly rain for the Toronto region, southwestern Ontario. Pink is freezing rain, Peterborough up towards Barrie, and then as the day progresses, a transition to snow, and that will linger in the east around the Cornwall area and towards the border of Quebec as we head into the evening hours. Will that be the end of the messy weather? Do I have news for you? We'll keep it in the full forecast. Do expect some strong winds gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour tomorrow, especially in the morning. Your high around 4 degrees for your Monday. Kat?
Thanks, Noor. Syracuse. Time now to check in on the long-range weather forecast, and weather specialist Noor Rafat joins us now. And Noor, it is December and we are ramping up for winter in more ways than one.
Yeah, certainly the prairies have seen a blast of snow. Many excited to shake that off, but just when we do, Kat, just when we do, we start to see temperatures taking a deep dive. And for some, it's going to be into the minus double digits. Overnight lows at times feeling closer to the minus 40s. Let's take a look. Well, we won't see double-digit temperatures in Toronto. I'm going to give it to you straight. But +4, +5 degrees, not bad at all, considering it is December. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of sunshine, but some heavy rain, especially into the morning hours. Things start to taper off as we head into the evening. We are expecting, though, to get a taste of that mild air across many parts of central and eastern Canada, and you can already see that ridge starting to form as early as tomorrow. 4 for your high in Toronto, also quite warm around Windsor, potentially 9, and eventually getting into southern Quebec, parts of the Maritimes where they could be seeing some double digits over here as well in the coming days. But thanks to a trough, it'll be double digits in the below the freezing mark range, not above the freezing mark. So yeah, a whole different world when it comes to the temperatures. We are seeing some wintry conditions, though. It's going to be snow up to the north towards Sudbury, pushing into the Tweed area, Kingston as well. But the freezing rain into areas like Barrie, Owen Sound, Peterborough, and that's going to extend for a number of hours, potentially pushing through into the evening as well in areas like Bancroft. Tuesday, we get a bit of a break from the messy weather and some sunny breaks even around areas like Barrie. But take a look at this. This system moving in overnight tonight, overnight heading into your Wednesday, will bring some serious rainfall amounts, mostly to Quebec, but even into eastern Ontario. And then here is that transition to snow, and you guessed it, we're going to see some snow rolling into southwestern and southern Ontario, maybe even into Thursday. So we'll just be prepared for a whole range of conditions in the coming days. Something to be wary of, though, is that as we see those mild temperatures by the middle of the week, we are going to see those temperatures shift pretty quickly. So when we're seeing 3 degrees on Wednesday with mixed precipitation, and then it's down to -4. Areas that are seeing snow could be looking at temperatures falling pretty rapidly in the span of hours, and that means a hard freeze, folks. So we could be looking at black ice by Thursday morning, slippery surfaces, sidewalks and roadways. So do be mindful of those dangerous conditions. Things start to warm up a little bit on the weekend, and fortunately cloudy skies for much of that.
Still to come, it's a one-of-a-kind holiday experience. A special group of kids from Kansas City get a unique trip to the North Pole.